Hello and welcome to Golf Betting Clubs at the closing stretch ahead of the final round of the PGA Championship at Southern Hills. So we have a stacked leaderboard as we enter the final round. And Duncan, the action on Saturday, it was a coin toss because it was back and forth all day. But I think Mito Pereira really held his ground.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He was really impressive on the back nine, and the front nine as well. He stood on the 8th tee and he had a 4-shot lead, and it looked for all the world like he was just going to run away with the tournament, didn't it? At that time, Zalatoris was really struggling, and the others around weren't really making much of a move. And then obviously he made some really careless bogeys. 8 he three-putted, 9 and 10 he made bogeys from the middle of the fairway, and almost let everyone else back in. But then that finish was great, and that really bodes well for him today.
Yeah, talking of strong finishes, Matt Fitzpatrick, who birdied the last 2 holes, puts him 3 shots back. But he's such an aggressive player, and he wasn't scared of the conditions or of the course yesterday, and really went for it in the end.
Yeah, he absolutely did. He had a few putts as well that just seemed to either shave the hole or just seemed to stop, just short of the hole. And I thought Fitzpatrick was really impressive yesterday. And I think also in his post-round interview, he was really, really good in terms of, he said that, he wasn't scared of being in a major, and that although that he hadn't been in contention in a major before, he hasn't really thrown any tournaments away in America before. And I think that bodes well for him.
Yeah, and then the other guy at 6 under is the guy who was leading heading into the third round, Will Zalatoris, who a great comeback from him, because the short putts have always been the cringe moment, and we saw quite a few yesterday, and he's still got that weird little waggle when it comes to his putting stroke. The putting has improved overall, but Will only 3 shots back. That showed a good fight from him too.
Yeah, it was car crash viewing for the first kind of 9 holes, wasn't it? Every time he had a short putt, you just thought, I can't watch this. But he recovered on the back 9, and I think, like we wrote in the blog today, that it's telling that he was much better chasing than he was leading. And he'll much prefer chasing today than he would been leading. So I think Will Zalatoris might go a lot better today than he did yesterday.
Yeah, right, Neil. It's cool that the guys that we mentioned, Pereira, Fitzpatrick and Zalatoris, also Cameron Young, who's on 5 under, these are all guys who are searching for their first PGA Tour win, and they've all found themselves bang in contention at the second major of the year.
It's remarkable. I was just saying at the start of the week, you probably wouldn't have put quite a lot of these names up there. I was actually looking at Mito Pereira's stats, and on paper, you should have actually spotted it. He was 13th for approach for the season, 4th for green and regulation, and 5th for scrambling. Yeah. So when you look back at that, and you think he is an ideal fit for this course. But no, I know you're strong in Cameron Young this week. He's another form horse coming in. He was 3rd and 2nd in his last 2 starts. So there's no reason why you shouldn't have been confident. But the fact that the 4 guys haven't got their first PGA Tour win, never mind a major win, is just going to make for such an exciting final round.
I think it just comes down to the fact that, when we're talking about majors, we just expect the guys with a lot of experience to be doing well. And you had Bubba Watson, who was right in the mix yesterday and really fell away towards the end of his round. But, Rory leading after round 1, Justin Thomas, we expected these guys to be contending for 4 straight days. And it's a cool leaderboard when, the closest contender to have won before, Abraham Answer, Seamus Power, Stuart Sink, who has history on this course anyway. But looking at the guys in the top bunch, is there anyone that you're liking today?
Well, Mito Pereira is now 6-4. We've already advised him to be top South American to our subscribers, which we got at longer odds than he has to win now. So we won't be playing that. Looking a bit further down, I think Matt Fitzpatrick for me is the obvious one. If I was to choose one name that I think is going to go on to win, it's probably him. But the bookies have put his price fairly short.
Okay.
He's 10-3 today, and considering like we said, he is going for his first major, like they all are. It's just a little bit too short for me. The one that stands out is Cameron Young, at 9-1, almost 3 times the price of Fitz. I just like the way Young was speaking after his interview. He's talked about how he's feeling a lot more comfortable now in this position, and he regards this week as any other week. He's not thinking about it as a major. It's not getting into his head. I think he's a few shots back, so there's no pressure on him. I think he could be the one to make a good move if Mito is to struggle today.
The cool thing about Cameron Young is his dad's a PGA member, teaching professional, so is his aunt. So he's obviously, this is, if there was any one major, I mean, you want to win any of them, but this one would obviously mean a lot to him. So those are good odds, bearing in mind he is only 4 strokes back. But let's have a look a little bit further down. And Duncan, who are you really tipping today?
We've actually gone for Cameron Young. Cameron Young is who we've gone for on the chat for subscribers. We think it's a good solid price in terms of each way value. His first strokes gained off the tee this week, and he's been driving the ball brilliantly all season. So it should come as no surprise that he continues to drive the ball well this week. And I think that the cold conditions, the ball doesn't travel as far as it normally does. So the stronger drivers are the ones who really are favoured because they're able to get the ball on the fairway and further down to have a shorter approach shot. So Cameron's strength is off the tee, and I think we really saw that yesterday when he set up that fantastic eagle chance at the 17th. So it's going to be cold again today, or certainly coldish in Oklahoma. So I think that the strong drivers will again come to the fore, and if Cameron drives it like he has done so far this week, then he's in with an excellent chance in my opinion, and I really like his chances.
Looking at the guys that are, they're on 2 under, guys that have won majors before. I'm looking at Justin Thomas and Bubba Watson. What do you think about the chances they have, and what kind of odds are you seeing for them this morning?
I think they've certainly got a chance. Bubba was really disappointing on the back nine yesterday. He's looking at around 80 to 1 at the moment here in the UK. So Bubba can certainly go low. We saw that with his 63 in round 2. And if he recaptures that kind of form, he's certainly got a chance. But to ask him to go low twice in 1 week, that's maybe pushing it a little bit. And there was a lot of missed shots yesterday from Bubba. So I'd be less keen on Bubba than I would on Thomas. Yeah. Thomas is available at 30 to 1 here in the UK, and I'd prefer Thomas's chances than I would Bubba's. Thomas was poor as well yesterday, but Thomas always seems to have that kind of low final round in him. He's one of those players that just seems to spark into life if he's a few shots back. And he's got a chance, but I think 30 to 1 is maybe a little bit too skinny for me. Neil might have a different opinion.
No, just add to the Bubba point. He came from miles back in Saudi earlier this year, so he has got previous. I know he got robbed by Harold Varner, which was good for us at the time. But Bubba's proved this season he can come from off the pace, but they're all going to need a bit of help from Mito, aren't they? Let's face it. But we saw yesterday how quickly things can change on this course, and you can put 3 or 4 bogeys together in the space of as many holes. So quite hopeful it does happen, so that we get a nice, exciting final round.
I know. Right. Well, let's talk about the parlay. What kind of bets have you got for us today?
So it's nothing. We've been really strong on 2 and 3 balls this week. We give 5 plays to subscribers on Thursday and Friday, and all 5 came in. So we had a really kind of hot start to the week in terms of 2 and 3 balls. There's not been as much value about at the weekend. And I think that the parlay today isn't, necessarily a strong parlay that would normally, be really in favour of. But I think if you're going to have one, keep stakes small. But the one that we'd like to probably have is Sebastian Munoz to beat Tyrrell Hatton. Matt Fitzpatrick is up against Mito Pereira in the final group. And then we have Abraham Answer, and Abraham is up against Seamus Power. So the 3 of those would be the 3 selections that we'd take, and you'll get just around 7 to 1 for those 3 selections.
Good, I like it. All right, okay. Well, as we were saying, this has all the makings of a fantastic major Sunday, which is all we really want. And if I were to put you on the spot right now and give you one name, you have to say one name. Who would it be?
Cameron Young.
We always play the odds. So
feels like I'm not.
No. I think Fitz is honestly the most likely for me to get it done. I've just got concerns with Pereira getting over the line. But at the prices, I feel like Cameron Young is definitely the value play.
Yeah.
And we always look for the value. It's not often who you think's most likely to win. It's where's the value in the market.
Where's the money coming from? I picked Cameron Young at the start of the week at 80 to 1. So I am
slightly better than 9-1.
fully on him.
Have you had any dreams, Diane?
No, do you know what I did dream about? Is I dreamed that Adam Scott won, and that was probably last weekend. And then he had an appalling time at the end of Thursday, so that knocked him right out of it. So from now on, we don't count my dreams. Right, guys, well, enjoy all the action, and hopefully it's a profitable final round of the PGA Championship.